Greetings, I'm Demonac, and it's Hearthstone time. Well, this was another one of those long ones. It was just going to take a lot of tries to get through. I did try several different decks, because I'm sure there are lots of ways to manage this. I am definitely hampered by the fact that I don't have, and have zero desire to craft, another mountain giant, or one of those stupid clockwork giants that bite. I did try out a warlock deck for a while, which theoretically has lots of advantages. It has the cheap cards where the penalty is a discard, like Soulfire and stuff like that, which, again, that discard is a much smaller penalty than normal. And some other things, the zero-cost sacrifice a demon for 5 health thing, not horrible. And, I still think Rogue obviously seems like the way to do this, but again, I didn't want to craft a second preparation. I don't like that card either, and I'd still need another mountain giant and stuff. But you'll notice when he implosions and he gives himself a bunch of imps, if you were able to vanish at that point of time, you would, screw his hand size. And then, of course, if you could respawn with your own, clockwork giant, and go, ha-ha-ha, and just dump it on him. But instead, I'm going with the druid here. And let's see. So, the druid, obviously, as you can see, has some potential to gain mana crystals. You're never going to keep up with him, but if you can get a couple extra mana crystals early on, and the rest of your deck is very inexpensive, it gives you a good chance to get through. Naturalize is also obviously a very powerful card against him. If you can naturalize him, blow up some of his cards, that's beneficial. It also gets him through faster, because if it ends up in a race at the end, you're going to be a little bit closer when he starts taking damage. Although, I tied several games that way. I don't think I won any by decking him. Sure. I had a lot of trouble with that. But the Naturalize is obviously very strong, being cheap and having effectively no drawback against him, and sometimes is beneficial. I keep in the Owls, because the ability to silence those stupid Drakes is pretty good. And potentially I could I have the Pyromancers to finish them off. I have, Weenies. The 0-4 taunt for one guy, I theory crafted that he would be good for this, because obviously you need one drop to do something, but he's tough enough to survive a hit from the stupid 3/2 imp that the opponent is so fond of using. And that means that he could potentially stop 2 attacks, so that's pretty worthwhile with 0 mana, even though he has no attack, obviously. Plus, he could actually survive an implosion if it doesn't roll max. Let's see. So, this is what the Pyromancers are for, because again, he's fond of his implosions, which I'm sure are just put there to bait rogues into preparation, vanishing them, blow up his hand size, and maybe force him to discard good stuff, but instead, I'm zapping that guy, and Pyromancy ensues, and drop the Taunt Squad, and I don't know, sure, heal the Pyro, because then maybe I can Pyro again. That would be good. I've got the 2 healing touches in here, because costing 3 mana instead of the 5 mana for the heal bot is worthwhile in this challenge, and pretty much this challenge only. There's almost no other circumstance where I would rather have heal 8 for 3 than the heal bot. I mean, technically it can heal large minions, but I don't have large minions in here because this deck is supposed to survive drawing an extra 3 cards a turn. And he just filled his deck with giant numbers of clockwork giants. One of the ways to get ahead potentially is if I get both my naturalizes and none of them get blown up, and if he gets at least one of his gang ups blown up. Or what's really good is actually if I can not play any minions in the first couple of turns, his hand size fills up. If he's unable to unnaturalize me in the first couple turns, because I have no target for him, and sometimes, he plays the imp, if there's nothing else around, he will gang up his imp, which is stupid, because I can kill the imps okay. Unlike the clockwork giants, they're not going to obliterate me, and they actually do a lot of damage to him. But here, I've got a problem, because I have 1 naturalized for 2 giants. I have a Pyromancer, and you'd think he could do something. I'm contemplating using the Roar, which is really harsh, because I was hoping to get out 3 or 4 things later on, and Roar, and, win by doing a horrendous amount of damage to him. But right now, the Roar would let me attack with the 0/4. It would let me attack with myself. I could naturalize the full health giant. And then the Roar would do 1 damage to everything. Yeah, I think that's what I end up doing here. Because I gotta kill all those giants somehow. So that does 1 damage to everything. Now the Pyromancer can actually suicide bomb the 5 health Clockwork Giant. And how do I could kill the Imp myself. I'm at kind of full, I'm at more than full health, but I'm a little bit worried about a lot of these fights that I've lost have come down to me running out of hit points at the end. Some of them have been very close, so I'm trying to preserve that armor and health there. It's a little creepy the time delay on the naturalize there as he's drawing cards, because for a second it was looking like that guy survived it somehow, which would be inappropriate. Lotheb definitely has some potential against this. The big game hunters are hit and miss against his deck normally, but if he ever gets a chance to gang up either his giants or mine, then it gets bad. Turns out he actually has Molten Giants in there, which are but useless. Like it's very unlikely in my experience, that the game is going to come to like a situation where it's at all close, and he's that low, not low enough to play the Molten Giants. So they're actually kind of stupid in his deck. They're one of the ways to make his deck weaker. That and the AI, because let me tell you, he naturalizes randomly. I understand that he wants to use the naturalize whenever you have cards in your hand. He just wants to like blow up your hand, and that makes total sense. That he's a little bit indiscriminate about it. But sometimes he will naturalize the wrong thing when you have minions out there, and sometimes he doesn't naturalize the biggest threat. Like, it's not even close. So I am now out of cards. Ow. That fatigue damage when you're drawing 4 cards per turn, because he's giving you 3 and you're drawing another one, it escalates insanely fast. I'm at full health, so I can take 1 turn of that. And he's at 37 health and has 3 giants. So, comeback time? 2. Process faster. Oh, wait, no, I'm not drawing the 3 cards because it's not his turn now. My turn, I just draw the 1. Whoops, got confused. So, all I have to do is either defeat all his giants and gain some health, or do 34 damage to him. I currently have 12, 15 on the table, and no Roar. I think my second Roar got blown up somewhere along the line, which was very unfortunate. Because double Roar, double Rainbow could have almost pulled me out of this. I do have the Innervate, so I can spend a lot of mana this turn if I need to. I think my plan is going to be to cast 2 spells, which will kill off the Pyromancer, which is why I attacked with him first. But it will also kill off the low health giant and the stupid imp. So I cast a worthless Mana Crystal spell. I mean, I'm not going to cast the excess mana. It would actually kick my ass to draw that card. But the initial spell did, trigger the Pyromancer, which was the plan. Then we Innervate, trigger the Pyromancer again. Yeah. I know the sound effects are not working. I had some trouble with the sound on this, which is actually funny to me instead of annoying, because I had trouble with the sound on the one where I wasn't doing the commentary anyway. It was like, hooray! This was the correct time. If the sound was going to screw up, please screw up on the one where I wasn't spending all that effort talking. Goddamn. Ow. 3, 4, 5. You notice how rapidly that damage escalates? Like, if he had naturalized now, I would just die. I would actually explode. So he's spending 6 mana on a corruption. And he corrupted my taunt, which if you know if the computer's AI, it won't attack a corrupted minion. So he screwed himself there. This is my best chance. But he's got 23 health. There's no... Even with 2 healing touches, I'm not going to be able to survive this, am I? It's going to be close. Math. I'm not going to do the math. I'll let you figure it out. Or Suspense. Okay, I gotta do 23 damage. Can I do 23 damage to him? I've got 8 plus 3 plus 2 is 11, 13 plus 5 is... Oh, whoops, I lost one attack on him. I should have attacked first. Yeah. I can hit him for, even with the extra one there, I was not quite there. But he'll kill himself with his fatigue damage. All I have to do is survive. 7 plus 8. Oh my god. Ugh. -1. He's toast, but it's a tie, and in a challenge you have to actually win. Defeated. Oh. Thought I was at -1. If I had somehow been able to gain 2 more armor over the course of that game, if I had been able to kung fu 2 extra times, and all other things being equal, I would have actually won that one. But no, of course not. I'm gonna try it again, because I was so friggin' close. I was at -1 when he died. It's just if I'd drawn one less card somehow, or if he'd had one more gang up get blown up, or lost, or I'd failed to naturalize me once. It was so close, but no. My start is not fast. Let's see what he does. Give me a naturalize. Those are good to have. I've got a hand full of... Whoa. Okay, a hand full of mana crystals. And he's got an imp. That's kind of a good sign, because those imps are like the... I mean, it's unfortunate, because it'll beat up... If I play the bear will just get killed. Whether I make him 3-2 or 2-3, he'll just die. So I went for mana crystal instead, figuring the 3 hit point damage is not worth, like, slowing down my build-up. And he gangs up his imp. This is always a good sign. The imp is the thing you want him to gang up. You don't want to put out something that is not an imp and have him gang it up, because that would be worse. Okay, so I can get mana crystals. The thing is, if I cast the Grove Tender and give each of us a mana crystal, I mean, that is helping him, but he's gaining a mana crystal every time anyway, so it's making less difference to him than it makes to me. And it gives me the mana crystal right away, so I can use it to cast something else. Like, sure, the bears. They'll get killed by the imp, but at least I got my extra mana. Bear. Sure, attack mode. I could... You know, those cards are going to get blown up if I hang on to them. I don't want to naturalize the imp, because there are just so much better things to naturalize. And since... against him, there's basically no difference between 2 and 3 health. I mean, maybe if he has the implosion, it could make a difference, but it's unlikely to fail to kill them. It's just in how many imps he has. Okay, he's going to naturalize anything. He doesn't care what. Which is reasonable. Mountain Giant goes in the hand. Lotheb gets destroyed. That is bad. But the Mountain Giant goes in the hand. Lotheb is really good for that, like, when you hit 10 mana or whatever, is getting to that point where someone's going to die very soon. Because the turn you play Lotheb, he can't play all those 0-cost do 2 damage things to you. And he saves those in his hand. He usually has 6 damage worth of those. Sometimes only 4 if he loses them. Okay, we're going to go ahead and play a Giant now, because he costs 3 mana, and that seems pretty good. Then give us each a mana crystal again. So he'll hit max right there, but I'm not that far behind him. And I'm just dumping cards. And am I going to naturalize the imp? No, that would be crazy. I need that for later, don't I? I'm thinking about it. I'm counting the cards. Oh, I'm going to have to lose something anyway. I'm going to naturalize an imp? That doesn't seem like a winning move. I mean, even though he didn't have a full-looking hand, remember, he's going to draw 3 cards. So it is blowing up a bunch of his cards. If he loses naturalizes... Oh, not the Molten Giant. The Molten Giant is a dead card. We want him to draw the... Oh. If it blew up a naturalize and gave him the Molten Giant in his hand, then that would have been fantastic. But no, he naturalized my Giant. I only have 1. And he's going to Dragon Breath my 2/4. Why not? That's not the problem. Volcanic Drake. This is not looking fantastic. Oh my god, I lost my naturalize. You dink. Yeah, so apparently at this point, I have reached a point where I'll actually concede. But no, it's true. He kept a Molten Giant. He's gotten off one or both naturalizes on me. He's already gotten off a gang up. If I lost one of my naturalizes, I lost my Giant. It seems unlikely that I can win either by straightforward damage or by having a deck off. It's just not going to work. Okay, kind of slow starting hand. I mean, it's tempting to keep the Savage Roar because they're so important, but they're not a good start. The Big Game Hunter, obviously not needed till a little bit later, unless I'm really unfortunate. And the Naturalizes usually cover me for that. The Big Game Hunter is actually much less important in this Druid version of the deck than in most of the other ones. Especially since I don't have that many Giants, so he's less likely to be able to gang up Giants. He's not too picky. He wants to gang something up. Okay, he's got the Imp start again, which is not the worst. I don't really want to put out a guy, because if I put out a guy, it's going to get naturalized, probably. Like, he gets those things really fast, because he draws a million cards. So I'm, again, going to go with the build-up approach. I could innervate out something, but I think that's a bad idea. I think I should actually just not do that. Do I cast my 0-mana spell, the 1 damage piece of crap? It's not very useful, but it does get out of my hand and make room for more important things, and every once in a while it helps. It could blow up an Imp. It plus Annoyatron can take out an Imp, like a 3/2 Imp. Ah, he lost a Naturalize again? Stop doing that! I need those things for the winning and the blowing things up and making you draw cards. Damn it. Making him lose the gang ups is a pretty good way. Okay, yeah, Grove Tender. Let's give us both mana. Because again, he's gaining 2 mana per turn. It's making much less difference to him than it's making to me. Grove Tender wins against Imp. That's fine. She's probably going to get naturalized anyway because it's my first minion. So what do I do with the 2 mana? I guess Annoyatron plus the Moonfire, and the Imp will probably die, although he might just naturalize Annoyatron. He seems to like naturalizing Annoyatron. It's a bubble and a taunt. For another target there, I mean, he might just kill that, which would be unfortunate, but I gotta try and get some stuff out, because I didn't get my naturalize, so the card death isn't going to work. Oh, he's wasting a naturalize now. I mean, he's going to hurt, he's going to blow up some cards, but I just got my Giant, and he did not naturalize my Giant. I wish I had not drawn that Moonfire, drawn something else instead. But, oh, Corrupted Taunt! He's screwing himself again, and doing more damage to himself. Oh, he might blow up my Corrupted Taunt, in which case he'd be able to attack. No, we tanked it with the other stuff. Losing a Wild Growth, not that bad. The naturalize really hurt, though. Okay. It's Giantin time. Gigantic. Yeah. Got some use out of that Moonfire after all. Only took 2 cards to kill a 3/2 Imp. Gotta put up some stuff for the damage dealing. For Annoyatron, I could just make myself armor, because, again, that other close game has me weirded out about, like, I should be making armor more often, but I've got to spend the cards, because otherwise they get blown up. And those cards are better than... What I get out of each card should be better than what I get out of my Kung Fu. And the sound is back. Hooray. Okay. My army's currently better than yours. We like this state of affairs. And I've got an Innervate. I don't have the Sergeants in here anymore currently, so I can't, like, buff that guy. I figured the life-gaining trolls were more important. But, so I can't Sergeant Big Game Hunter that guy like I had been previously. I could naturalize him. That would mean I wouldn't have a naturalize for other stuff. But it is cheap, and would result in less Drake. It could also deal a whole bunch of damage. I mean, I could roar now. It's not a little prematurely because it's not for the kill, but look at the amount of damage it's dealing. It's getting him low. But not Molten Giant low. Just like, I'm going to kill you later low. He might be able to play one Molten. I don't know. But this is a lot of damage. Oh, right. She could kill that. That's a good use of her. No Drake. I think that's what sold me on actually playing the Roar, was that I could trade her for the Drake, which is a really good deal, and then also get some extra damage, because I still have several guys and myself. And we can Loatheb him, make it much harder for him to do anything this turn, and look at my army. Like, what is he going to do about my army? He doesn't have AoEs. He's already used at least one Naturalize. I might be in a position to actually DPS him down. He can't Molten at 22 health. I drew my second Roar. Oh my god, if he can't Naturalize my Giant, I'm going to win. Corruption is too slow, and it costs you 6 mana because of Loatheb. Yes! I mean, I think I won. Just tinkering around. Like, how could I most annoy you? Probably not at all, because you're the computer and not an actual player. I'm going to glorify, hit you for ridiculous amounts of damage. Oh, I'm going to get you low. Oh, oh. Oh, I wanted to attack you with myself, but now you're too low and you would actually die. Do I kill you with myself? Do I overkill you more? Do I make you draw your stupid cards? You dink with your stupid card drawing? Don't think I've forgotten. I should end this at full health. Oh. Pointless taunt and die. Yeah, that's my agony ends. Putting up with you. I did play a lot of games.
You've killed one of the good guys.
As a rogue.
Does this make you sad?
As a warlock. I did some as a hunter. Hunter deck has some good cards. I was not feeling it. I'm just not like a hunter guy. And like everything else, I didn't have all the cards I needed. But that was what I needed to do, and I did it, so yay. On to the next boss. Next time. Put the hammer down on that like button.